Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder aboard the USS Tennessee, lead ship of its own class. And the BB-43 in its 1943 configuration is the fourth US ship at battle rating 7.0. It is the sixth rank 6 ship. It comes in the tech tree after the USS Nevada, and it is yet another US standard dreadnought, super dreadnought standard battleship armed with 14-inch guns. You have 12 of them in 4 triple turrets. You are also with secondaries equipped, and there are the wonderful 5-inch 38s, 8 twin mountings of them, so you basically have a Moffett strap to each side, 10 quadruple 40mm, 43 single 20mm, and no torpedoes, no missiles, rockets whatsoever. The ship is relatively slow with 38 kilometers per hour. It has the all or nothing armor scheme. It has radar. It has really thick anti-torpedo bulges, and that sounds too good to be true because also the ammunition is overall nice. The 14-inch Mark 19 HC or high capacity round, aka high explosive, has 46.31 kilograms. That's sort of standard. It's on the lower end. It's roughly half what the British get with their 88 kilograms of TNT from their 13.5-inch shell, just to give you a comparison. But then we come to the tier 1 upgrade. That is the 14-inch Mark 16 AP CBC round. That fields 10.17 kilograms of TNT, but with a muzzle velocity of 823 meters per second, it generates a penetration of 715 millimeters at 1 kilometer range, and at 10 kilometers 537. That's good penetration for a 14-inch shell. The bursting charge is not that great. The secondaries come with the usual sort of high explosive SAP and high explosive variable time fuse, so all good and well. So the AA is a world beater. It's an absolute rainbow. You shred patrol boats, planes, and alike. You have radar warning that they're coming. I wasn't able to lock onto them, but it really didn't make all that much difference. And yeah, your armor. Let's talk about the armor because it's thick. You have belt and bulkheads of 343 millimeters. They're relatively large plates for the main belt. You have also below that 281 millimeters, so that's 11 inches, and then 8 inches with 203 millimeter underwater to protect you somewhat from diving shells. And then you have a deck plating of 121 millimeters over the magazines and 95 millimeters over the deck. The barbette are 330 millimeters thick. That's not quite good enough, and we'll come to this in just a moment. And the turret faces are a whopping 457.2 millimeters. I think that's 18 inches, angled at roughly 40 degrees, and that gives you then over 500 millimeters. But the gun housing, or where the guns go into the turret, that's 10 inches or 254 millimeters, and that can be panned and damaged. The superstructure, all the AA emplacements are somewhere between 19 millimeters, 12.7 millimeters, 25 millimeters, and the bridge has only 127 millimeters. So if you angle the ship at long range, it might be really good, it might be fantastic. The ship might be well equipped to deal with long range enemies. Angling, it helps, but you are too slow to really play with your speed. You don't have torpedoes, although most battleships, in my opinion, shouldn't really need them, right? If you are within the short range torpedo range of most World War I battleships, then something went utterly wrong. Unless you're Scharnhorst and you're actively seeking that, because Scharnhorst doing Scharnhorst things. What you're about to see right now kind of reveals a bit of a problem with this ship, and that means that it is an absolute failure within War Thunder. Like all the US standards, it utterly suffers from the 40-second reload. There are so many good things about the ship, and it really pains me again that it is just so useless. Okay? And I want to show you the main problem that I have in addition to the 40-second reload right here. So secondary is doing the work of destroyers, that's always nice. And then over the island there comes an AP salvo, and that AP salvo then ignites my barbettes. And the entire frontal firing group is engulfed in flames. And here you can see the shells are gone. And why is that? Well, effectively, they are stored in the barbettes, the shells themselves, not the propellant charges, other than because that would be a magazine detonation. What that means is that you lose the access to your shells. You have nothing to fire. Even if you repair the barbette and the turret and everything else, you have no shells to fire. And then being down to only 6 guns with not the greatest dispersion in War Thunder, with a 40-second reload, with not the greatest firing angles because of all your AA emplacements. Let me tell you, despite all the penetration, that is painful. And your 5-inch 38s, they can deal with destroyers, patrol boats, light cruisers, aircraft, even heavy cruisers, and even can really annoy enemy battleships. But as a battleship, you really want to punch through their armor and deal damage. But in this ship, think about something else, please, because that's not gonna happen. And I want to show you the downside, because this was an absolute horror match. It was already going on for like this. I just sank 2 light cruisers and they respawn. And now we are in the vicious repair cycle that absolutely kills the ship. Fires get started, aim placements get knocked out, including my 5-inch 38s. In order for them to be repaired, I have to repair all the light AA emplacements, and then obviously one HE shell comes in and knocks out several of the light AA emplacements, reducing my crew. So I'm bleeding to death while repairing. I'm repairing myself to death. And while a lot of ships, actually all ships in War Thunder, kind of suffer with those unrealistic, painful, not fun repair mechanics with their punishing and mechanics and oh, where to start? You know, that really kills the ship, because if you are then within the fire extinguishing mode, or you repair something and then you fire your guns, you immediately have a 50 or even 60-second reload, and that's not cool. Because a Shanoast, to give you the other extreme example, if this fires at guns while repairing has somewhere in the region of 25-second reload, that would be a dream. So the thing is, I was always coming back to play the ship again while I was playing the Derflinger, while I was playing the Amagi, while I was playing the Ismail and some other ships, because I wanted to get a good battle in the ship. And the truth is, I didn't have it, because in this ship it is unlikely, it's unrealistic, and I don't want to lie to you guys. I don't want to sell this as the greatest thing since sliced bread, because it just isn't. There is nothing inherently wrong with this ship per se, but in War Thunder it absolutely has a difficult time. And just how punished you get by those game mechanics, I want to show here this, right? This is an Alaska. It has dangerous guns, 20-second reload, also AA, it's fast, radar, you know, all the good stuff. It's the best US battleship in my opinion, and it's kind of registered as a large cruiser, battle cruiser, you name it. That's a never-ending discussion, a topic for a different video. I want to kill this guy. And there seems to be something bloody wrong with our shells today. Again and again and again. The dispersion is absolutely punishing. I'm getting set on fire, I'm bleeding to death, I don't have secondaries to knock out his superstructure. You know, I can't repair right now. And I have such a long reload, and every miss is painful. I get single shells out there. That is not cool. And his shells fly in, and yeah, he does damage. And he has time to repair, to fire at me. He would absolutely win, despite having, quote-unquote, only 12-inch guns and only 3 turrets. He beats me in a straight-up battle because I'm just a little bit unlucky with my dispersion. I mean, look at that. Oh my god, it's so... I'm not kidding, guys. This is the most pain I had in a long time. And, you know, I'm coming home from work, firing up the PC. I want to have a good time. So, my recommendation, unless you are you have some problems, don't play this ship. Just don't. Unless Gaijin gives it a 30-second readout, unless we have some sort of rework with the dispersion or whatever, especially with the repair mechanics, that this ain't good. I hope you didn't enjoy this video because I was absolutely furious making it. See you next time with some better ships.